Hi everyone and welcome back. So I actually have a Lush Creative Showcase haul today, and the Creative Showcase was about a month ago at the time I'm filming this. I'm hoping to get this video up relatively soon after I film it. The reason I haven't been able to film this haul for so long is purely because I have a 9 to 5 Monday to Friday job, so I only ever get to film really at the weekends, especially now that the weather is getting a lot darker in the evenings, and I just haven't had the time to film it, so that is why it's so late. However, I got so much stuff from the showcase. It's definitely the biggest Lush haul I've ever done, not just on YouTube but also in terms of the 10 or so years I've been shopping at Lush. And the best bit is that I didn't actually pay for anything. Absolutely everything I got was free. It was crazy. I knew there would be freebies, but I didn't realise to the extent how much free stuff you would get from the event, which this was my first ever showcase, so I can't compare it to anything else. But it did cost £25, and I know a lot of people were really annoyed about that because the last few years it was free. So I can't compare this year's event to, say, one earlier this year or a couple of years ago. So it's just not only my first showcase haul, but also just my first impressions of a Lush showcase, and I am definitely going again next year. I actually went on my own. I have a vlog and everything up, which I will link below. I'm actually so glad I did go on my own and I didn't go with anyone, because it was a good 8 or so hours and there was so much to do. If I was with someone else, they would kind of get bored by it, because I was literally spending like an hour watching like the kitchen videos, and then I would go and make a bath bomb for half an hour, walk around and film everything. So if you didn't go this year because it was just you, I actually really recommend going on your own. I'm actually going with my sister next year, having said that, just because she does really want to go, but I don't think I would have got as much done if I was with someone else as to if I was on my own. So I'm so happy that I did that. And I've got a massive bag as well. I had to try and get this back on the underground without breaking, which I was quite happy I managed to do that. That was a challenge. So I'm going to move this with some rustling. The bag's actually empty, but I've just got it to put everything as I show you into the bag so it doesn't get mixed up. So I have everything on the floor in front of me, and I'm just going to grab things, not in any particular order, and just go from there. Although that being said, the first thing I will have to show you is just the wristband that we got from the event. I've got everything in packaging at the moment, but I filmed so many close-ups of when everything was new that I'll insert as I was talking. So it's just the wristband that you get. I did have to cut it off, which I was annoyed about because I just could not get it off my wrist. Basically like the one I wore at Glastonbury, but much cleaner. It was like the exact opposite of what Glastonbury was. So yeah, there's that, and I'm going to keep that. I'll start with the samples I got first, because I got these at the very beginning of the event when I didn't think I'd really be getting anything for free. So I'm like, get all the samples you can, and obviously as you get towards the end of the video you'll see that that wasn't the case. And so they were showcasing obviously all of their new Christmas and Halloween products. As far as I'm aware, there weren't any exclusive showcase products, whereas I believe earlier this year there were. However, a lot of these products are new to me, even if they've been out for a couple of years. The first one, which I have on the top here, is the Twilight Shower Gel, and I've never tried this, and I know so many people are going to hate me for saying that, because I know this is such a popular scent, and I actually have a full bottle of this as well to show. But at the time I got this, I knew Twilight was really popular, and I know it comes out in the kitchen quite a lot, although the kitchen is now no more. But yeah, I've never tried it. I have tried the Twilight Bath Bomb, and I have a demo of that, but when I first used the bath bomb, I'd had it a few months. It wasn't great, but yeah, I decided to pick this up because I kind of knew all the hype around it, and I do really like it. It's definitely very calming and soothing, and I have to say, although it's a scent I do quite like, it isn't one of my all-time favourite Lush scents, and I'm really sorry because I know everyone loves this. And then we have Snow Fairy, and I've mentioned in 1 or 2 videos that I know this is like the cult Lush Christmas scent, maybe not so much now as it used to be, but I've never liked Snow Fairy at all. However, I did want to buy one of the small shower gels this year, just to kind of see if my opinions changed of it this year, and I saw they were giving out samples, so I decided I might as well pick one up. I'm not going to go too much into this, everyone knows what Snow Fairy is like. And then we have Bubbly, which is another scent that is new to me. I believe this is the Celebrate scent. I also happen to have a shower gel of this as well, which I'll get to, and I do really like it. It is a very kind of stereotypical citrus Christmassy scent. It is really nice. Not one of my favourite Lush scents of all time again, but I did enjoy it, and I'm using the shower gel on and off, and I do quite like it. So that was Bubbly. And I'm thinking, I have so many Lush samples, I'm probably going to do some sort of series where I put them all in like a jar, pick like 5, and then do like a weekly review of them or something similar to that, so that's kind of why I'm quite glad I've got quite a lot of samples. And then we have a Snowberry body conditioner, and until recently, until I've been to the showcase, I've never used any of Lush's body conditioners, so I picked this up to try just because even though I'm not a massive fan of Snowberry, like I said, this was the only body conditioner sample that they were giving out at the time, so I decided to get it because even if I didn't like the scent, I could still kind of judge if I liked the body conditioner format. So that is Snowberry, but I haven't used this one yet. It smells exactly like Snowberry, and the body conditioners are basically body lotion, but for the bath or the shower. Don't recommend using them in the bath. I did, and my hair was so greasy I had to wash it twice after just to get all the oil out of, which, thinking about it, I should have really figured that out, but whatever. Yeah, but I do quite like the body conditioners, having tried the one that I've got to show you in a bit. And then we have Rose Jam Shower Gel. This is another scent that I know everyone loves, or most people. It's not a favourite scent of mine, it's not even a scent I particularly like. I'm not really into the whole rose scent. I do have the Rose Jam Bubble Root in my collection that I got from a gift set, but I'm going to try eventually. But again, they were giving out samples and they were like, do you want a sample of this? If it's free, you take it. So I've got that to try. And then lastly, I'm so glad I have a sample of this because I've got everything from the showcase, and I also have a Christmas and Halloween haul coming out, which I'm going to film, and that will be up shortly. I've got all the products over there. I have, I would say, 99% of the things that I want from this year's range. This was one thing that I didn't pick up. I don't know if I said it's Santa's Christmas Shower Cream. It's a new scent this year, and I totally forgot I had this sample because it's the one product that I'm kind of on the fence about if I'm going to get it, either in the Naked Shower Gel or the Standard Shower Gel format. So I'm quite glad I have a sample of it. And this does smell really nice, but having opened this, I don't think this is Santa's Christmas. I think this is the Box Fizz body conditioner, because I've got the Naked format of that coming out. It smells exactly like that, and the Santa's Christmas is red. Yeah, this definitely isn't that. Okay, so I'm still not decided if I'm going to get Santa's Christmas or not, but the Box Fizz body conditioner, do really like it, and that's the Bubbly Celebrate scent family as well. And next I think I'm going to do face masks because there are so many, so let's get those. So at the showcase, like I said, they were doing lots of demos and also where you could make your own products, and every hour or so they were doing jelly face masks because they are a new product at Lush. And I did have a haul when they first came out, and I actually have all of the jelly face masks now, and I'm going to do a review on them because I've been using them regularly for a couple of months now, so I think I've kind of, any opinions I have on them isn't going to change. However, that being said, that aside even, I have these many face masks. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 jelly face masks, and the reason I have so many is, one, as you were walking around, especially towards the end of the event, people were just giving out what was left over, so they were like, do you want a face mask, have 2, have 3, so obviously you take them, but they were also making them. So the ones that I made were 1000 millihelens, FOMO and Bunny Moon. So I have some clips which I put in my vlog, but I'll probably put them here as well now, how they made them. But yeah, they basically melted them down and then you could all pour them into the pots and they could set up. But because they were made at the showcase, they weren't made to like the standards that they could sell them on. So they basically let you take as many as you wanted. And I think I went to make a new face mask about 4 or 5 times during the showcase, because every hour it would be a different face mask and they would sort of rotate. So I ended up making quite a few, and then also towards the end, instead of you just getting the one face mask that you made, they would give you 2. And the one reason that I went back so often was because they were making Bunny Moon, and I mentioned in my haul how much I love this. It is basically the best jelly face mask from Lush, but it's also one of the best, if not the best, skincare products I have found for my acne. I absolutely love it. The reason these ones don't have stickers is because just towards the end they were just giving them out. They didn't even bother labelling them up. So I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 5 Bunny Moons, so those are going to last me a while. I know these only last for 4 months, but I'm thinking I can freeze them and make them last a bit longer. And then I have 4 FOMOs, which is possibly my second favourite after Bunny Moon. And then I've just got the 1000 millihelens, which is the tea tree one, which I use this probably only once a fortnight, just if my skin needs it, so one will still last me a long time. So given how much I love these face masks, to have this much for free, bearing in mind that these are about £7 or £8 each, This is going to last me forever. I'm so happy with these. This is probably, aside from obviously all of the really cool like Christmas and Halloween products, this is probably my favourite like freebie from the showcase, just because in Halloween and Christmas products they're more of a novelty, but in terms of actually products that I feel a benefit from, these are amazing. And like I said, I'm going to do a review on all of the jelly face masks soon. Now I'm going to get to the wash clouds, because these are the kind of unusual products. Then I guess these probably were a showcase exclusive. Now these are basically shower gels, but in the format of candy floss, and I have footage of them being made, so I'll insert now. And I got 2 Karma wash cards, and these are completely like disintegrated, and because you're meant to use them within 24 hours, but I just wanted to keep them to show in a video. And I've also mentioned that Karma is, along with Snow Fairy, is one of my least favourite Lush scents. So I kind of just got these just because I missed the, I think it was the Thunder Snow wash clouds. I missed that one, so they ended up making the Karma a couple of times, so I ended up getting 2 because I went twice. This one's still quite fluffy, so I'm probably going to do a review based on this one, but the reason they don't sell these in the shops is because you have to use them within, it was either 24 or 48 hours. It was a really quick window that you had to use them. I know they make them in Oxford Street sometimes, but in terms of regular Lush shops, you can't get these. They were just something fun to make. They were a really cool idea as well, so I've got those. And then I also made so many products, and I've also got all of the moulds from them that I'm going to keep. So this is the, I can't remember what, Christmas Cracker Bubble Bar, that's what it's called. I made one of those. And Christmas sweater, this is a new one, and I ended up making like 4 of these, and I'm so glad I did, because this is possibly my favourite Christmas bath bomb now, of the ones that I've tried so far anyway. Absolutely love this. In fact, I'm going to grab all of the ones I've got left, and I do have a demo of this that I filmed at the showcase, so if you want to watch that, it's such a good bath bomb. It smells almost like Christmas pudding. It's like Christmas in a bath. It's so good. I've got these in a plastic bag just to keep them nice, so I'm not going to hold them too much because of the rustling. I have 4 here, and I've used 1, but it was split in half, and I think that's what I loved about making the bath bombs yourself, is as soon as you made them you could just break them in half and let them set. So yeah, I know that's obviously really impractical in terms of if you were to go in a shop, you obviously don't make them, but if you do ever end up going to an event where they make the bath bombs, as soon as you take it home, just break it in half and let it dry. That's the best way I found to get 2 uses. I will get one out to show you. I'll try and be quick so it's not rustling. This was the prettiest one, and I don't think I made this particular one because, again, at the end, they were just giving out everything that was left over. And at the time when I was making this, I thought that it smelled Snow Fairy, and I don't know how I thought that. I think it was just, there were so many scents just mixing together at the event. So I almost didn't make as many as I did, but this was one they made twice. And like I said, they gave out bath bombs as well, so I got some just that I didn't make myself. I basically made so many just because how often do you get to make a bath bomb? And I'm so glad I did. This is such a good bath bomb. So that is what it looks like. It has 2 reindeers on the front, and I'll pop this away now. However, the only thing that, if you ever do make your own bath bomb, is I was in such a rush to make them because it was so crumbed at the event, that I forgot you're meant to put like bicarb on the mould so that they don't stick to them. So a lot of these are stuck in the mould, so when I've had to use them in the bath, I've had to put them in with the mould still on. So I think all of these, they still have the bottom of the mould stuck on them, but you know, they were free. I'd rather have a free bath bomb that doesn't look as pretty than pay £15 for 3 bath bombs. I know Lush has always been expensive, but particularly this year they have really upped their prices. I think all of their regular bath bombs went up by about 25-50p this year as well. So I mean, these are like £5 each, which I think is absolutely ridiculous, especially just for something that is one use. At least with the bubble bars you get multiple uses, so if you do ever go to the showcase, get as many free bath bombs as you can. And then another bath bomb I made was the Dark Arts bath bomb, which has been renamed to Secret Arts now. The only thing I could think for that is obviously some sort of legal reason. Is Harry Potter Defense Against the Dark Arts. Is that why they've been made to change the name? I don't know. This is the prettiest one I managed to make. I made 2. One is stuck in the mould still, so this is the one that when I eventually do get around to doing the demo, it will be this one. And I've used 2 of the jelly bombs before. I've used the green coconut, and it's either called Big Sleep or Deep Sleep, the bluey one, and I haven't been overly impressed with them. This was the one that in the shops least interested me, because all of the reviews I've seen is that it's just like black gunge that basically stains your bath. However, like I said, it was a free bath bomb, I got to make it, and I'm quite glad I did, because I would never have even picked this up to smell it in the shops, but it smells so good. It's really cinnamony and clovey, and it does smell like a Christmas bath bomb even though it's not part of the Christmas range. It's very similar to Cinders but not quite, which I'm quite glad about because Cinders hasn't come back this year and I don't know why, because that's one of their most popular Christmas products. I know a lot of people that don't shop at Lush year round will go into Lush when they have the Christmas stuff out just to buy Cinders. Yeah, this smells really nice, so and we'll eventually do a demo on that, but I kind of am putting it off because I know it's not going to be a very clean bath bomb at the end. It's going to take a lot of clear up. Yeah, I've got one and then I've got that one as well. And then I have two Ectoplasm jelly bath bombs. Again, these are two I made. And I think I managed to get both of these not stuck in the mould. This was, I believe, exclusive to the showcase at the start of the year or late last year where they had all of the Valentine's Day products. And I think it came back on the kitchen once, slightly different. And now it's in this format. And this is part of the permanent line for Halloween this year as well. And this was one that I wanted to try because Jen, All Things Lush UK, did a review on it, and since then I've wanted to try it. And it smells very limey and citrusy. It's not what you would expect. I wouldn't think this was like an autumny Halloween scent. It does smell really nice. It has a ghost on the top. In terms of scents, this is probably one of my favourites out of the jelly bombs actually, along with the Secret Art bath bomb. And I believe those were all of the bath bombs. So I'm going to move on to bubble bars I made as well. I think there's only 3. Actually, no, there's a lot more. I just remembered I've got something else that I made multiples of. But I'll start with this one. This is the Bubble Spinner, which is one of their reusable bubble bars. Again, I'll get out of the packet quickly. I'm not a massive fan of the reusable bubble bars just because in terms of storage, they're quite hard. You can't really put them back in the plastic after you've used them because they'll go down and you've just got to let them dry out. I just don't enjoy them as much as a normal bubble bar. I would just rather use a normal bubble bar because I don't find that I get any more uses out of a reusable bubble bar than I would a standard bubble bar. But this was one that initially came out in the kitchen a couple of months ago and is now permanent in shops, and it just smells of lemon. Obviously it's playing on the whole fidget spinner trend. I think Lush were quite late with this because I think that trend has kind of passed now. But it's just a pure lemon bubble bar, and I did want to try one of these purely for the novelty factor. And this is one I made, and I've accidentally put when I did make it I got the colours wrong, but other than that absolutely fine because I think these are about £5 each in the shops. So again, I'd rather have one I made myself and the colours be a bit off. I will of course do a demo on this when I actually get to use it. But yeah, it just smells like pure lemons, which I'm not a massive fan of citrus scent. I just wanted to try this for the novelty factor. But yeah, and it does spin like that. Another one at the showcase, which was one of these, but it was called the Running Man Bubble Spinner Reusable Bubble Bar. Same concept, and it's spun. I have a clip of that, I'll put it now. But I couldn't see that out in the shops this year or online, so I think that might have been a showcase exclusive. But yeah, that is that one. And I'll stick with the reusable bubble bar thing. I thought I had much more of these. This is the Magic of Christmas reusable bubble bar. I've used one. I ended up making so many of these because out of all of the reusable bubble bars Lush does just year round and seasonally, this is my favourite. It is just a really clovey, Christmassy scent. This is one I made, so it looks terrible. So it's just got all the glitter and the cloves on it. I was just, at the time, because this is one of my favourite Christmas products from Lush and it is quite expensive, at the time of making it, I was just trying to make, I went back a couple of times because they did it multiple times throughout the day. I was just trying to make them as quickly as possible because it was so cramped that I didn't really care what they looked like. So they're not very pretty, my ones. This is the nicest looking one. This one is just completely broken. I think these are about £6-7 each, so I was like, I don't care if it looks a mess, I'm just going to be running it underwater and that's it. I did, however, try and make one nice for a demo, so I think this is going to be the one I'm going to use for that, but it just smells amazing and it turns the water a really beautiful orange colour with all of the gold glitter. It just looks stunning. I'm going to use the leftover cinnamon sticks on my Christmas tree this year as well. But yeah, if you can get this one, I'd really recommend it. Despite what I said about the reusable bubble bars, I do really like this one, but that's just because of the scent. It is still a faff to kind of store them afterwards.